Critical Bench. This is JP again. I got another posing question that I want to share with you, and that is, should Christians use steroids? I'm talking about those steroids that are harmful to the body in the sense of over being abused. I'm not talking about those prescribed steroids that we can go to the doctor to get in order to help us in our health. So the steroids I'm specifically talking about here are those HGHs, those human growth hormones, that testosterone, that many muscle builders, that many athletes use these particular HGHs in order to make themselves faster, bigger, and a whole lot better. So in that, what I want to discuss specifically is, as a Christian, how do we handle steroids? Well, the first thing what we have to deal with is the question of legality. Okay, anabolic steroids without a valid prescription, hear me out, they're illegal. They are illegal without a valid prescription. Okay, the Bible's very clear. We see in Romans 13, 1 through 7, it says submit to the governing authority. As Christians, we're to submit to our governing authority. And in our country, our governing authority allows for steroids to be used, but only as they are prescribed by a doctor. Okay, so we deal with a legal issue as a Christian. We also see in 1 Peter 2, 13 through 17, we're supposed to respect human authority. So as a Christian, we are to respect the authority that is placed above us. Okay, so being the laws that are set in our land. Okay, so as a Christian, we should not be using steroids without a prescription. That leads into the second one, is the question of health. Should steroids be used, especially abused, in the effect of the health risk? Okay, so steroids that are prescribed by a doctor or a physician, they are limited and they're used for a specific period of time for a specific situation. But a lot of times bodybuilding or athletes, they get those things under the market, under the table, and they use them, and they're not using them in a manner that is healthy. And as a Christian, that second question we use to determine whether it's right for us to be using steroids has to come with the health risks. Okay, the Bible teaches us to honor God with our bodies. We see in 1 Corinthians 6, 19 through 20, it says we are to retain this body so that we need to take care of it. Okay, we need to take care of the body that God has given us. As Christians, we believe that the Holy Spirit dwells within us. That means that God is dwelling within us. It says the body is almost as a tabernacle, and we are to retain that, to respect it, and to be physically fit and aware of what's going on with our body. And we understand that using steroids is almost cheating the system. It makes us bigger faster, it makes us stronger, it gets us into shape faster, and in all reality, there are a lot of health risks with abusing steroids. Lastly, in 1 Timothy 4:8, it says this, it says physical training is good, but godliness training is much better, all right? It's so much better to do that godliness training, and as Christians, we should really be questioning, should I be using steroids as a Christian? That's something that we should take into account. So first we take into account is legality. Are we respecting the authority, the governing authority above us? The second thing is the health. Are we using this outside of the realm of what could possibly be healthy? Remember, steroids, you're gonna have to weigh out the balance there. Are the steroids hurting you more, or are they making you better? In instances of, arthritis or severe allergies. I had a guy growing up, a great friend of mine growing up, he had to take steroids because he had such bad asthma that it would just blow out of control. He would take steroids and it would help him, and it has made him better. Okay, so in that instance, it was perfect. And we were Christians, okay? It was the perfect thing, but he didn't abuse that outside of the legality of our government. Thirdly is the issue of vanity. Unfortunately, many times when steroids are being used, they're being used to make men bigger, make women bigger. They're used to make athletes faster. And my question is, why? So when we deal with vanity, it's all about making that sport, that activity, that bodybuilding our God. And the Bible is so clear about leaving God in the position of God and not placing other things in that position. There's great examples. We see in Psalms 119:37, Ecclesiastes 2:11. These scriptures are here on the screen. It's so clear about dealing with vanity. Spending too much time in affecting our body physically in order to make us bigger and stronger than what we may be intended or were created for could fall into the trap of making that activity a God in our life. And we know that the only God should be Yahweh. The God should be the center focus of our lives. As Christians, remember, we're talking about should Christians use steroids here, all right? Lastly, while the Bible does not specifically mention steroids particularly, it does give us a lot of great examples, which we just discussed, about biblical truths in dealing with this specific topic, steroids. Okay? It may not say you should not use steroids, but it talks about the legality of it. In our country, it's illegal to use steroids without a prescription. All right, there's the question of health. You overuse those steroids, it's gonna hurt you. And then lastly, many times steroids are used in a way of vanity because men want to be bigger, then stronger, and faster. And a lot of times that's because that activity is their God. When we are taught as Christians to put God at the center of our lives, to be our God. Well, I hope that this has kind of helped you out some. If you've ever been wondering as a Christian if you should use steroids, God bless you. And I'm JP. Peace out until we see you again.